So baby, get up, 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 up. No, don't you stay down, 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 down. Now lift yourself up, 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 up. Baby, baby, get up, baby, get up.
Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends at yarnspirations.com. My printer is malfunctioning, but we have two patterns today. Inspired by color, it's either the square or the rectangle. This is our stitch along for Boxing Day of 2023. That's December 26th. So what we have here is that the length of one side of the square is the same as the small side here of a rectangle. So the difference is that this in the pattern, so as we go ahead in the video, when I give you the instructions for the short side, it's the same thing of the short side here. So when Jeanne designed this, it was actually everything is in sequence of each other. So you can use both of the tutorials in order to do that. So you have to decide which way you're going to start. Are you going to start with a square or a rectangle? So what I'm going to do in today's bonus video is that you can download this. If you see the video description, you can get the link and you can get the first 3 rounds for either of these to get yourself started. The color difference between the two is slightly different, and so the sequence is different. So you'll see that there's 4 colors that were used in the square, and in the rectangle here there was 5 colors. So you can go through that. I'm just going to use the solid color on camera because most people substitute anyway. So I'm going to get yourself started. So this video will have both of the starts. We're going to start off with the square, and then the second half of this tutorial I'm going to go and start the rectangle, and then the next time I see you, then we are going to start this journey and you can just follow the instructions. So just follow the sequence for coloring. That is really the only difference between the two. So let's begin, and we'll start with the square first. So let's start the center of the square. It looks like this. We have a very unique starting, and then we're going to go around. So we're going to complete 1 through 3 today, and on this bonus starting. So this will get our square version started, and then you can pick up on round number 4 during the stitch along. So let's begin this right now. So we're going to start with the slip knot on the hook, and you're going to chain a total of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th chain from the hook, we're going to do our first cluster. So it's essentially a double crochet 3 together. So right in the last one, you're just going to go in, pull through 2 and hold, and do it again. So yarn over and in, pull through 2 and hold, and yarn over and in, pull through 2 and hold. So now you have 4 loops on the hook, pull through all 4, and then chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch into the same chain where all of that was in. And at the end of this round, we have to turn our work. So we have this, she has us changing the color at this point, so you can change the color as often or as little as you wish. So you want to turn your work, and you want to turn around, and you want to start again on round number 2. So if you want to change your colors, now it's the time to do it. So if you're changing color, you just have to attach it to the chain 4 here, and you can start from this point. If you just did what I did and just carrying the color, then you can just keep that going. So as we begin, we're going to start with a single crochet in the very beginning, and we're going to finish this corner when we get back around. So now we're going to chain 1, and in the same chain 4, you're going to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. So there's technically your first full corner. Chain 1 and jump over to the other chain 4 beyond the cluster, and you're going to create a new corner. So single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. You're now going to chain 1 and then start another corner. So it'll be single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and then you were going to chain 1, and you were going to single crochet into this one here, so the other side of the cluster. So jump on over, and then she wants you to do a half double crochet join to the top of the first, and that will bridge that gap just like you see. So this is the very beginning, And so she doesn't want us to turn our work. She wants us to keep on going. And so you can change colors as often or as little as you wish. And I'm going to carry on to round number 3. So right where you're sitting on a corner. So the half double crochet is counting as the chain 2. So you have 4 corners going on. So she wants you to chain 1 and single crochet into the same corner. And then she wants us to put 1 single crochet in each one of the stitches and the chain 1 space. So there's going to be a total of 3 before you hit a corner. So you hit the first single, you hit the next space, you crochet the dog hair with it, and then single, and then the next single, and then the corner is next. So your corners will be the same of single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So this side, you have your single, your space, your single, so fill those all in. Then you got your new corner, so single, chain 2, and single. Then you have a new side going on, so we have single, the space, and the single, and then another corner. So single, chain 2, and single. And then we have to fill in all of these. So we have to fill in the single, the space, the single. And this is the first space that we started with. So we're going to fill it in with single crochet and then chain 2 and join with a slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. So if you're going to keep your colors going on to the same, you can do a half double crochet join, but she wants you to change the colors and then turn. So when we go to start round number 4, during the stitch along, you're going to turn around and be on the back of the project, and then you're just going to keep watching that as you go throughout the pattern. So this will be how you start the square. One little piece of advice I would give you is that if you're ever unsure which is the right side, if you just put in a stitch marker for this, because she's going to have you turn around due to the textures once in a while, just put this on the right side of the work. So we just finished right here. So whenever you see this, you know that you're looking at the good side, and whenever you see that, it's the wrong side. Okay, so all the texture is going to appear on the right side of the work. So do that, and that'll help you out a lot. So for those that would like to do the rectangle version, you're going to start off with your slip knot, and you need to chain a total of 37. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 34, 35, 36, and 37. So once we have that done, we're now ready for the next part. So we're going to start off with the cluster work just like we did on the square, but the difference is that we're going to be clustering all the way across this chain. Starting 5th chain from the hook, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it over and get the back hump of the chain. It'll probably look nicer. And you're going to cluster there. So yarning over and going in. So cluster is considered 3 together double crochet. So going in, pull through 2 and hold, and yarning over again, pull through 2 and hold, and one more time, yarning over, pull through 2 and hold. You should see 4 loops on the hook. You're going to pull through all 4. And then what we need to do to advance down this, we need to chain 1, and then we're going to skip the next chain, and then we're going to cluster into the next chain after that. So we're just going to go in, pull through 2 and hold. And this is a repeat pattern going all the way across this chain to establish ourselves for this. Once you see 4 loops, pull through all of them, chain 1, skip the next chain, and cluster into the next. So please do this all the way across. I'll be right back. So coming close to the end, I'm going to chain 1 after the last cluster. I'm going to skip 1, and I'm going to do 1 double crochet right into the very last stitch. So the only difference between the square and the rectangle is that if you pull it apart, you can see all the clusters here. So what she wants us to do is to turn our work. So we want to go back in the opposite direction, and we're going to start round number 2. You can start with a new color if you wish as well. So if you're not starting with the new color, then you can just keep on going. If you want to start with the new color, you just want to go around and use this post as like an edge. So you're going to start by just chaining 1 and single crocheting into the same spacing area. So you're going to use this as like a regular stitch work. So now you're going to chain 1, and you'll skip over the cluster and go into the chain 1 space, and you're going to do this all the way across. So chain 1, skip the next cluster and go in between. So as you get closer to the other side, chain 1, you're going to come right into this spacing right here. So you'll single crochet and you need to turn a corner. So you were going to chain 2. And make sure you did chain 1 before you did that too, by the way. So you single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. You're going to chain 1 again, and then in the same spot, you're going to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. So if you did the square version, you'll notice that this is exactly the same as when it was square. Okay. So now we're going to continue on this side. So we just keep rotating around. So chain 1 and come in between the clusters, and you're going to come back all the way across. So just make sure you chain 1 in between. It's a really interesting way of starting a blanket. I've never seen anything like this before. So Jeanne has us on our toes today. So truly a stitch sampler. You're going to notice is also the clusters are balling out towards you. So this is actually the right side of the work, and we're going to mark it as well at the end of today's segment to make sure that you understand what is the right side and the wrong side, because Jeanne will have us switching the blanket around back and forth from the front to the back in order for the texture to be its very best. So chain 1, and you're going to come into this space here where you started. So you're just going to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet in. You're going to chain 1, and you already did a single crochet into the space. So you're just going to single crochet again into the space and then join with a half double crochet join to the very first single crochet that you started with. And so we don't want to turn it to the wrong side of the work. And at this point, what we would like to do, just pull this loop up, and let's just grab a spare piece of yarn from somewhere on the table here. And I want to mark this as my right side of my work. So to do this, just grab a spare piece of yarn and just going through the stitch work and just looping it through. It may become obvious what is the right side later on, but for now, let's just do this because it'll save you some grief. And I'm doing it for my own benefit more than you. So you're going to have that. So whenever you see this, this is the right side of the work. And whenever you see that, that is the wrong side. So let's carry on to round number 3, which is part of this bonus tutorial today. For the final round number 3, we're not going to turn it to the wrong side. Just keep it where it is. And you're going to start and you're going to chain 1 and you'll single crochet into the corner so that half double crochet join is the space. So single crochet that one, and so you're going to single crochet in each one of the stitches, including 1 into each one of the chain 1 spaces between them. And you're going to do this all the way to the next corner. So there's really no counting, you just have to look for it. And I'll see you on the first corner in just a moment. I'm coming to my first corner just shortly here, and I want to come into the single crochet before the corner, and in the chain 2 space here you're going to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. So this would be considered the short side of the square if you were doing the square. So it's a single into the single, 1 into the space, and the single into the single, and then you're already on the corner. So the corner is single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. And now you're going to whip across this side as well. So 1 single into each single and also into the chain 1 spaces as well. So I'll see you in the next corner in just a moment. So I'm coming close to the next corner, just filling in my stitches and spaces. And so here is my corner here. So it's going to be single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. And then we want to turn and do the short side. So 1 single into the single, 1 into the space, and 1 single into the single. And then what she wants us to do is go into the space and then chain 2 and join it to the top. If you don't want to change out your color, then what you could just do, instead of chaining 2, you could do a half double crochet join, and then you have this color ready to go in the next one. So this would be how you finish round number 3. So when we go to start round number 4, we need to turn it over to the back side, and whether it's the square or the rectangle, you can see that they're both very similar to each other, just from this point of view. So the short side of the rectangle or the square is going to be the same information, and the multiple that takes you across the rectangle is the same as well. So really, she's done a great job to keep us in balance, whether you're doing a short side or the long side, and you can end up with some really great stitch work at the same time. So I'll see you next time as we continue our stitch along with you. And this is Inspired by Color with Jeannie.